So much there is to see, my friend. From the city to the shore, grab a stool, we'll find an end to keep us wanting more. Down under's calling, can't you hear? Echoes in the breeze, feel the magic everywhere, in the rustling of the trees. Mountains rise and rivers flow, adventures wait around. Meet the world on a winding road in every little town. Oh, the land, it seems to me, with a tune as wild as sea, hands up high and voices free. Down under's where I'll be. Down under's calling, can't you hear?
G'day, folks. Welcome aboard. Nice to have you here. Where are we today? I'll get into that in a minute. Oh, my goodness me. Let me just have a look. In the chat there, I have one person sitting there, and I've got to tell you, it's...
Was los, Denise? Hallo, Denise.
Hello, Denise. Welcome aboard. You're number one in the chat at the moment. I know there's a couple of people in the background there, but you're number one. How does it feel to be number one? Oh, g'day, Mr. Joe. How are you, buddy? How's the weather in Dubbo? Currently, we're sitting at 18 degrees, feels like 13. You beat me to it, Mr. Jonesy. I knew you'd know. But we'll have a bit of a talk about it a little later on. For the rest of the community out there, where are we? Jonesy's saying g'day to Denise. Yep. So where are we? It's going to be a fantastic show today. We've got a few things going on, a few discussions to have. Yay, Denise! Welcome aboard, and I hope you're having a nice, easy day. I won't use the Q word because the Q word brings problems, but I will have that other word. I wasn't giving any hints. I was not giving any hints, Mr. Joe. I was just saying, where are we today? And somebody else made a comment. So, you know, I mean, I have to at least give people a look at the areas we're at. But yes, I was not giving any hints. Let me see. Denise is sitting on 33 Fahrenheit. Denise, if that was C, it would be a very beautiful day. And you're also home. How's your bro doing? Has he had his next dose of chemo? Is he on the mend? Denise is saying that she's working Wednesday and Thursday nights. Well, it is Thursday morning. So you must have just got home. Oh, sorry, no, it's Wednesday. I beg your pardon. I'm a day ahead of myself. It is Wednesday, hump day, and we're asking the question, where are we today? Bro got a good report. That's amazing. There is the iconic picture of the old jail. Yep. The problem is there's not much else around Port Arthur. Hi, Denise from Joe. Wednesday morning. Yes, that's correct. Because it's Wednesday evening for me. And Denise is saying g'day to Joe. Okay, so let's have a look. I'll give you a little bit of a rundown on this place. Let me see. This particular place is known is a town and former convict settlement on the Tasmanian Peninsula. See, Jonesy, I never let Tasmania go by the wayside. I always bring up Tasmania. So it is located approximately 97 kilometres or 60 miles southeast of the state capital called Hobart. And the site forms part of the Australian Convict Sites, a World Heritage property consisting of 11 remnant penal sites originally built within the British Empire during the 18th and 19th centuries on fertile Australian coastal strips. Collectively, these sites, including Port Arthur, are described by UNESCO as the best surviving examples of large-scale convict transportation. I will say that they contributed to the creation of the Australian lifestyle, that being the states of New South Wales, Victoria, and South Australia. Now, South Australia was never a convict a convict colony. However, South Australia ended up having a lot of free settlers there. But having said that, Tasmania as well as Victoria and New South Wales were the convict stations anyway. Joe is saying that he has the ducks on his tablet and HH4C on his iPhone. Thank you, mate. That's awesome. So if you're on the ducks, hashtag duck to drop your link. If you're on Helping Hands for Cruising, hashtag HH4C. All right, Joe is saying, how are you? I'm so glad to have two devices where I can have both channels running simultaneously. Well, the good news is this, Joe, you've got 2 ears, so each one in each ear. Okay, that was a bad joke. Joe's done the hashtag duck, as you can see, and what do you know? Nightbot has come to the party and brought up the link. Please welcome Joe to the stream and connect with Joe Hupp at there's his link. Go ahead and do that. And he's done the HH4C as well. And what do you know? Nightbot has come to the party. So there we go. Jonesy is saying Tasmania became a state on January the 1st, 1901, when the colony of Tasmania joined the Federation to form the Commonwealth of Australia, making it a founding constituent state. Interestingly enough, Tasmania became a state 1 year after Australia became a federation. Denise is asking the question, a penal colony? Yep, it was a jail. That's what Joe says. Yes, it was a jail. It was England's dropping station for all its prisoners. And basically it emptied out part of Ireland and a couple of other places as well. The Irish community down under is actually quite strong. Irish and Cockney as well. So depending on where people came from. So Australia became federated in 1900 and Tasmania became a state in 1901. When Australia became a federation, Melbourne was the capital. And then Canberra was built because it was between Sydney and Melbourne. So they found this little area outside of a township called U.C.s. And they called that Canberra, and they made that territory the Australian Capital Territory. So there we go. That's a little bit about our news down under about what's going on. All right. So having a look. Meantime, we're a cruising channel, people. Okay, wait a minute. Joe is saying there's a town in Queensland called Killarney. It was founded by Irish people. Joe, I didn't know that. You just taught me something. But then Queensland was named after Queen Victoria, and Victoria was also named after Queen Victoria. All right, let's have a look. What ships are in port today? Melbourne doesn't see a ship until the 11th of October, 2026. Can you believe that? I'm looking at the schedule for 26, 27. There's nothing right now that talks about anything earlier. Excuse me. Sydney had the Disney Wonder in yesterday. The Costa Deliziosa is coming in tomorrow, and the Disney one. This is the first Costa ship I've seen down under. I didn't know that Costa sailed here. I thought Costa was only involved in the Mediterranean and maybe down the US. Anyway, the Disney Wonder appears on Friday. And then the Seven Seas Navigator comes in on Friday as well. So Disney Wonder and the Seven Seas Navigator will be at White Bay. And then the Costa will be at the Overseas Passenger Terminal. The Carnival Splendor comes in on Saturday, and Carnival Adventure is also on Saturday. So the Splendor will be at the Overseas Passenger Terminal, and the Adventure will be at White Bay. And then on Saturday, also the Viking Venus. So there's quite a few ships in Sydney this week. In Brisbane, let's see who's in Brisbane and what's going on there. Excuse me. So today, the Seven Seas Navigator was in Brisbane. Tomorrow is the Crown Princess. And then on Friday, we've got the Voyager of the Seas. And then on Saturday is the Carnival Encounter. And then Sunday is the Luminosa. So quite a bit of shipping going around town at the moment in Brisbane. But Melbourne, well, what can I say about Melbourne? Need to change this government, I swear. All right. Let me see. Joe is saying he found that out through a gentleman named Peter Wickham, one part of the largest trucking company in the area, Wickham Freight Lines. What did you find out? Oh, about Killarney. Okay, that's cool. That's really exciting. Joe, Shaun, I'll have a little gift for you and Ilana when we meet up for the cruise. Dubbo is finally getting its own Monopoly game. Oh, wow. That's awesome. And you don't need to give us a gift. You're part of family, so what do we need a gift for? And we're just going to have a great cruise anyway. So there you go. All right. So we know what's in port. We know what's going around port, which ports are being utilized. And we know which ports are not being utilized. So those that are interested, this weekend we have the Dreams in Motion Cruiseathon for Helping Hands. We're trying to raise some funds so that we can get some more people on board cruise ships. Right now, Friday evening is chock-a-block full. We've got something going from 6 o'clock and through until midnight. Now we're looking for some people to help us for Saturday, and then we will both have an amazing time together. Lots of fun and merriment. What else can I say? Joe is saying it'll be his way of thanking us both for putting on an amazing cruise. Mate, we're just a bunch of people who want to get together with some mates and have some fun. So if you're coming along, great. If you and I know you are, and I know that you'll be beside yourself with excitement. We're just going to have an amazing time. It's going to be a fantastic cruise. In fact, I might whet your appetite a little bit later on. No, I won't. Yes, I will. I will whet your appetite a little later on. Joe is also saying he would have been able to take part, but he's got commitments. Yeah, we know, mate. A lot of people have got commitments this weekend, and so we're we can't shift it because we've already made the promise that it would have been a little bit earlier, and we've got some commitments around it, so we really need to get it done. And we will be doing that. We'll be getting it done, having lots of fun in the sun. Amen, hallelujah, and praise whatever. Okay. Okay, so let me get this on. We've got Gabby going on this next cruise. I think she's going to love this cruise. It was a ship we've sailed on. It's been to some of the areas that we've been to, but we know she's going to have an absolute ball. Have a look.
The ABCs and U Group Cruise 2026 is the cruise you have been waiting for. Don't miss this opportunity to set sail on the magnificent Carnival Horizon for an epic 8-day sailing from Miami to the beautiful ABC Islands. After 2 amazing sea days, you will arrive at the island of Aruba where you can see the California Lighthouse or just take in the scenery. The next stop is Bonaire, with its picturesque pink salt flats and amazing beaches. And then the last port of call is Curacao, where you can take a panoramic island tour or just take in the sights. 2 more sea days wrap up this cruise, and you will have plenty of time to hang out at the Pig and Anchor Bar, the Havana Bar, or the Ocean Plaza. There is so much to do on the horizon, and this is why it is a favorite among many. Contact Bruce at Ocean Travel or Felicia at Syrup City Travel today for more details and booking information for this amazing group cruise. We'll see you on board.
Actually, both Ilana and I found the Horizon a very interesting ship. Can you believe it? It's got a brewery on board. They brew their own beer. It's incredible. And the water they're taking is desalinized water out of the ocean. So there we go. Lots of excitement. All right, something's bothering me here, and the light is just not doing what it should do. So let me do this for a minute, because seriously. Oh my God. Let me get this straight. There we go. No, you're doing funny things now. There we go. That's better. Okay. All right, bring that across. That's way better, don't you think, folks? All right. Let's see. Joe has said there's always next time. Just got a friend coming up from Sydney for the weekend, and he's only in town until Monday. Mate, spend time with your mate. Yes, there is always next time. So we'll be excited when you do your stuff, and any help you give us is greatly appreciated. All right. Now this, I don't know how to say this, but you're Ilana.
You're Shaun.
And together we are the Down Under Cruisers, welcoming you to, what are we doing on New Year's Eve 2026-27?
Funny you should say that. Do you want to know why?
Why?
Oh, you know what? What could be better than party time, New Year's Eve party time, in the middle of the beautiful Pacific Ocean over the Great Barrier Reef?
We're going on a cruise?
We're going on a cruise.
Whoa! Well, let's have a look. Joe, are you beside yourself? I mean, that's the cruise we're going on. It's going to be absolutely a blast. Joe said his mate is a truckie for Ron Finnemore transport carting stuff around Fort Aldi. Well, mate, he'd have some good food coming up and down. Ron Finnemore is quite a huge trucking organisation based in New South Wales, I believe. So no, it's going to be an amazing opportunity. Excuse me. I will say, folks, please stay in touch with the two websites, the downundercruises.org I beg your pardon, the downundercruises.com website and the helpinghandsforcruising.org website. Both websites are updated every so often, and you're getting all the current information that's going on in both channels. So please stay in touch. Let us know what you what you're going to be doing, and have some fun. Jonesy says he's still there. He's watching us on the TV. Oh my goodness me! Am I that big? Am I that big? I need to lose some weight, Jonesy. So you'd be watching me in a corner of the TV. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Oh my god. Okay, so Joe is saying Ron isn't as big as Lindsay Fox. Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Lynn Fox is but Lynn Fox had an earlier start than Ron Finnemore did, and Lindsay Fox is also was also a bit more of a go-getter, because what Lindsay Fox did was he bought a whole lot of other companies. For example, TNT, Thomas Nationwide Transport, that got bought out by Lindsay Fox, and also there were a couple of others that he bought out as well. So he's done fairly well for himself, Lynn Fox, and so is Ron Finnemore. I remember we were doing some work for them at one point. Anyway, tis what tis. All right. So good news. We've got the cruiseathon happening this weekend. We've got there's a number of plans being put in place right now for a huge cruise happening in 2028. We're doing some finalizing on some stuff, waiting on some itineraries to come out for that particular cruise. But we're looking at anybody who's military inclined, and that would be absolutely amazing for them, because it's called the Heroes Cruise, and we're going to be doing some exciting stuff for them. G'day, Mickey's Adventures. Welcome aboard. Nice to have you here. We're just talking about where are we today, as well as some of the things that are going on. Yes, thank you. Hashtag duck, and you will find that Nightbot will come to the party by going. As soon as it does, there we go. Hello, everybody. Please welcome Mickey's Adventures to the stream. There you go. There's Mickey's link. So go ahead. Have a look and see. All right. So what can I say? I mean, cruising around Australia is very interesting. There's some interesting news going on with Carnival right now. The union has gotten involved, saying that Carnival are underpaying their staff, and are particularly underpaying them because they are bringing them in. They're not Australian citizens that they're employing. Carnival are not that stupid. They wouldn't be employing Australians on Australian cruise, purely because Carnival would then be up for Australian employment taxes and all that sort of stuff. So they employ people from overseas, and because the cruise goes out of Australian waters, Carnival can pay what they want. So it's an interesting time right now. Very interesting. Anyway, it is what it is. We're doing what we can. Mickey's Adventures is saying, match the thumbs up with the number of participants in the chat to show your support. Thank you very much, Mickey's Adventures. Really appreciate that, guys. Yeah, hit the thumbs up. Come on. Do it. Do it. I dare you. I dares you. Do it. So, yeah. Exciting times. Not only are we having political stuff going on around the world, cruising is changing. There's a lot of areas in the Mediterranean that shipping hasn't been able to go to yet because of hostilities and so forth. And also, people are fairly wary of the Suez Canal right now because of possible issues. So, you got to do what you got to do. Cruising is what it is. Mickey's Adventures is having a giggle there. Yep, that's true. Just do it. Do it, mate. Do it. I've backed you up there, so I really appreciate you getting people to do the thumbs up. Yes. So, what more can I say? The cruising world is doing incredible things. There's been a bit of interesting info that's come out. The number of crimes that have been committed on board ship has brought some interesting factors. And what they're saying is that in a lot of cases the ship handles the crime, but if they can't handle the crime, they then get the local authorities. So, say for example, you were sailing from Miami down to the Caribbean, and somebody arced up, but before the first port, the local authorities would then be called in. You would then go through your local court issues at that particular point, and then you would either face a huge fine or face a local prison sentence. I know what I'd rather go for. I'd rather go for the fine. But at the end of the day, I'd rather not get into the position where the authorities are called, if the truth be known. Also, if we take a look based on cruising, the same thing happens if you get ill. I'm going to say this very candidly, folks. Please, the next time you jump on a cruise ship, please go and get yourself some travel insurance. Travel insurance is unbelievable. We had an issue with one of our when we were recently on the Norwegian Encore. We had an issue with one of the people who was part of our group. They got ill. They were offloaded in Grand Cayman. They had to spend some time in Grand Cayman in the hospital, and then they were taken care of and shipped back home. His insurance company covered everything from start to finish. Even paid for the hospital, for the medical center stay on board the ship. I can tell you, medical center is not a cheap affair. If you're there for any length of time, you're looking at thousands of dollars. Worst thing that can ever happen, right? Make sure you go with travel insurance. My cousin was doing a trip in the Mediterranean, and his wife had some medical issues. She had to be taken off and taken to a hospital in Malta. Truth be known, the ship was dearer. The medical costs on the ship was dearer than the medical costs at the hospital in Malta. So I'm saying to you folks, make sure that you have your travel insurance. Get it done. Get it done. If you've got travel insurance, you're in a much better place. And less headaches. I mean, there have been stories over and over and over again about people who've gotten ill and didn't have travel insurance. And one thing led to another, and then we have some issues. And now they're out like up to 30 grand. I mean, seriously. That depends on the country, depends on the place, depends on what needs to be done to get you home. Travel insurance. And you need to get the travel insurance that will get you home and hosed and everything taken care of, whether you're local or at a distance. But just get yourself taken care of. I can't stress that enough. We'll be going, and every time Ilana and I go on a cruise or we leave the country, we always make sure we've got travel insurance with us. So I'm suggesting the same thing. Make sure you got your travel insurance. If you've got your travel insurance, you should be right. Everything should work. Everything should be great. Okay. How do I fix this again? We're getting all ghosting sort of things going on. But I'm trying to fix that with intensities. All right. So the Ducks cruise at the end of this year for New Year's Eve, we're sailing on the Carnival Luminosa. Joining us on this ship is a couple of guys by the name of Rafael Viso from Viso's Travel. And also, I'm hoping that Eric B from Traveling with Eric B is going to be coming as well. And I believe that the last time Rafael went on the cruise on the Luminosa, he went on that cruise ship going up to Adelaide. No, to Alaska. I beg your pardon, not Adelaide, Alaska. And when he headed off on the Alaska cruise, he actually hid something in the cruise on the ship. So he hid something, and he's hoping to be able to find it when he gets there. All right, Joe, you take it easy, buddy. Have a good night, and I will catch up with you on. No, maybe not. I was hoping I'd catch up with you on Saturday Arvo, but you're going to be messing around with your mate. So have a good time, enjoy your mate, and take it easy. Take it easy. All right. So yes, he'll be doing a bit of a search around for what he may have left on the Carnival Luminosa. But then there's the question: how do you actually pronounce it? Luminosa or Luminosa? Yeah, okay, shut up, Shaun. All right, so where are we today? Where are we? Jonesy came up front and said, it looks like Port Arthur. To give you guys a bit of a heads up, Port Arthur did actually have a bit of history to it. And unfortunately, that history, in some cases, was not good. Let me just get to the point. Because there was a massacre at Port Arthur, and the massacre at Port Arthur was in 1996, on the 28th of April in 1996. Port Arthur, the historic site, was the location of a massacre by a person by the name of Martin Bryant. Now, what Martin did was he murdered 35 people and wounded 23 more before being captured by the Special Operations Group. His action led to the national restriction on high-capacity semi-automatic shotguns and rifles. What happened was the then Prime Minister, John Howard, then put in a law and made some laws and legal stuff that asked everybody to sell their semi-automatic weapons to the Australian government, and then they were subsequently destroyed. So the government did a whole buyback thing. And because of that, Australia has very, very strict gun laws. You need to have very good reason to own a weapon. And essentially our murder rates from shooting are per capita are generally quite minimal compared to places like the U.S. and so forth, purely because of that action of the then Prime Minister. No, I'm not going to go into a gun lobby with anybody, into a gun discussion with anybody. I'm just telling you our history. The 28-year-old perpetrator was subsequently convicted and is currently serving 35 life sentences plus 135 years without parole in the psychiatric wing of the Risdon prison in Hobart. So, that is part of our history, unfortunately. Why did I pick Port Arthur today for you guys to have a look at? I picked it because it's on our UNESCO historical site section, but more importantly, it's a major part of history, and it has also contributed to things happening today. All right, Radio Jonesy says, "See you, Joe." Now, Jonesy, I did miss out on your live earlier on. I was busy doing a bit of the work stuff, which had to be done. So there you go. I apologise, and hopefully I will go back and watch the replay shortly. All right. Other than that, folks, I don't have a lot more to say. We're getting ourselves all set up for the cruiseathon this weekend. We're getting ourselves all set up for the ABC's cruise in April. We're getting ourselves all set up for the Ducks cruise in December. And there is another cruise in March, which we're also looking at. So yeah, only exciting things happening. And with that in mind, folks, let me go back to the chat. Radio Jonesy says, all good. That's fine. And I don't need to do that. I need to do a lot of things, mate. I need to do brand X work. Because if I don't do the work, then it stops us from actually getting on the cruise ship. And that is a definite no-no. Anyway, what else can I say? What can I tell you? I mean, cruising is doing some amazing things. Jonesy, you're going to get some more stuff down Burnie Way rather than us in Melbourne. Although after October, they reckon that there will be more cruising coming into Melbourne, and so we'll see what other cruise ships there are. So hang on, I can go back and have a look very quickly, and I can tell you what Melbourne Ports is doing. So they're saying that Sunday the 11th of October is the Crown Princess, and then we've got the Carnival Adventure on the 2nd of November. And then on the 3rd is the Carnival Splendor, and then the 7th is the Celebrity Solstice. So everything seems to be not doing too well for this season, but next season is when things will start to pick up. And with next season picking up, we're then going to have some good cruising. Now, let me have a look at what's going on in Adelaide, because I know Adelaide is going to start picking up as well. Adelaide Ports, Adelaide cruise ship schedule. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Oh, that can be bigger if it really wants to be. Let me see if I can make it bigger. Yep, I can. Give me a second, folks. I will increase the size. All right. So Adelaide are also talking about, that's 25. 26. Where are we? So on Saturday they're going to be getting the Viking Orion, and on February the 1st they're going to get the Silver Moon. And that's going to be there that's going to be there one day, and then come back on the 8th of February. So a week's trip out, and then on the 9th of February is the Azamara Pursuit. And then on the 18th of February, P&O UK are sending in the Arcadia. So that's going to be interesting. And the 26th of February is going to be the Holland America Zandam. So that's what's going on over there. Melbourne, though, Melbourne doesn't have anything until... It really sucks. Really sucks. Let's see what's going on in Fremantle, because Fremantle has also got some cruising coming in. Fremantle Cruise Terminal. Let's have a look. Okay, so do we have any schedules? Oh, there we go. Let's see. Fremantle. What have they got happening? So, okay. So, does not look like there's. Oh yes. On. Let me have a look. Okay, so on the 6th of February will be the next ship coming in, and that'll be the Seven Seas Explorer. And on the 14th of February will be the Silver Moon, as well as the Arcadia. And then on the 15th will be Silver Moon and the Azamara Pursuit. So they don't have anything going until February. They just had some ships in for January. The ships they had in for January were on the 11th of January, they had the Aida Soul, and on the 17th, they had the Viking Orion. So that's what's going on in Fremantle. Fremantle is the port that's closest to Perth for those that are interested. All right. Well, folks, I don't have a lot more to say today. Both Elaine and I will be having some fun in the sun on Friday night. For those of you across the pond, for those on our side of the pond, it'll be Saturday. Either come in and join us, help us raise some funds, help us. There'll be some fancy schmancy stuff going on. Anyway, wish you all a fantastic evening or day, and please keep smiling, be nice to each other, and say good day to your mum. Take it easy.
Come from the land down under, where the sun is hot and bright, beaches cool and waves of thunder, morning turns to golden night. So much there is to see, my friend, from the city to the shore. Grab a stool, we'll find an end to keep us wanting more. Down under's calling, can't you hear? Echoes in the breeze, feel the magic everywhere, in the rustling of the trees. Mountains rise and rivers flow, adventures wait around, meet the world on a winding road in every little town. Oh, the land, it seems to me, with a tune as wild as sea, hands up high and voices free.